Animation to me is all about getting out of the world of reality and going into the deep, imaginative worlds of our minds. My name is Opie and I'm a senior animator working in the video games industry. I've worked on a range of AAA titles from Heavenly Sword, Motorstorm Apocalypse, Harry Potter, The Bourne Conspiracy and a series of Lego games. And this class is really exciting for me because this is the whole point I got into animation, is to get out of that world of reality and do all these squash and stretch and cartoony animations which we'll be going through in this cartoon series. I'm so excited to go through all these. You have to check out the ProRigs. I'll be using ProRigs, which are absolutely brilliant. They're custom designed for cartoon animation, squash and stretch, and we're going to be having a lot of fun with these rigs in the coming classes. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're experienced, we can all learn something from each other, and I hope these classes will introduce some new techniques, some new thought processes and workflows that you can kind of incorporate into your work. This class will cover a cartoony walk. We will go through the contact poses, mid poses, and the end poses and in-between poses, and we will make it look as cartoony as we can. This class will show how you can use the same principles for realism and cartoony animation and how we can apply it to cartoony stuff, which we're going to be doing in this series of classes. So I'm super excited for you to join me in this step-by-step course on how to do a cartoony walk. Get your Maya, Blender, Max, whatever you use, and let's start animating. I'll see you at the end of this class. Here we go, let's start animating. Okay guys, this is a quick video on where you can get your rigs from. So I'm using these rigs. Now there is a fee to this, it's $20 a month, which is about £16 a month. But for that much and the characters you're getting, look at all the characters you're getting. You're getting all of these characters with the right support. You even get pickers like for the rig. You get the scripts, everything licensed. It's well worth it. All of these characters look heavy, light, athletic, bigger, you know, fatter characters, robots. It's definitely worth it. I'm going to be animating with these now. You know, they're feature film rigs, so they're really good to invest in. £16 a month, $20 a month is nothing really. You get all the support you want. You can cancel the subscription when you want. All right, guys, this is a quick video where you can get the rigs, or you can just go to free rigs and use any other rig. But I just thought you want to animate along with a similar rig, you can go and get these rigs. So great rigs, and yeah, I'll see you in the course. Okay guys, so first thing we're going to do is get the reference. So I've done some research on Google, so we're going to follow this, get some reference here, and we're going to use these poses to start us off. So let's get this going. And let me just start with this. Okay, first thing we want to do is let's check out the legs. Let's separate these legs like this so we know which one's forward, which one's back. Okay. All right, now in the side view, what we'll do, let's have a look. Which one? No, it's not that one. Foot roll, I think it's this one. Yeah, so what we want to do, we want to establish our contact points. So let's move this back, and I'm going to put everything in. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to select everything and then put it in constant, so it's all blocked, so it's step, yeah, it's all stepped. Okay, now I just want to grab the control, and with the foot roll I just want to make sure it's all in line here. So this bit, it's all that straight, this bit in particular. You'll see when you rotate this, it goes a bit off. So you just want to make sure it's lined up. So that's what we'll do for now. So we're establishing the contact points, front and back. So front one as well. So we'll do the same thing here. We're like, all right, how's that look? Maybe we want to move it forward a bit, and then that's not bad, something like that. And we might want to move this up a bit, so we can get away with moving it up a bit because it's got a stretch on it. It's really lovely model, this one. And like this. So we'll start with that. That's the basis, right? Okay, also what we'll do with the rig, as we can see here, we'll just quickly change this to 0. So it's FK and 0 here. That's FK. So we've basically got rotations everywhere. And I'll just put the timeline to 20. So we're working clean, 20, you know. Every 2 frames is what we'll do. We'll key. So let me select everything, and like I usually do, I key first frame. Now, the other thing I want to do is, while I'm here, is we all contact. Is it contact? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll go to the next one, so frame 2. And what we're doing, we're just literally, if you look at the reference, we're just going to move it forward until this back leg is bent, or it's coming down. So what we'll do, we know that the foot is going to be on the floor. So there, the foot's on the floor. We also know that it's going to be transcending down, forward. It's going to go down. So there's a little bend there. And we also know that the back leg is just starting to come up. So it'll be like this, slightly forward, and a bit of a foot roll. We'll kind of do it like that. And again, select everything, I'll key it, and then I'll just go into here and go to block. So we want to make sure it's all blocked. Then the next frame is the passing position. So this one is going to be, we just want to make sure that this leg is straight going up, and then the passing position like this, which would be even, we could even rotate this a bit more. Could have it go past a little like this. And then we're going to key everything and then move on. So we've got all these poses. Just select everything, make sure it's all constant. Okay. Okay, so we've got that. And then it's going to be the high position. So this one is going forward to highest. And then the reference shows the foot going forward. So it's kind of going like this. Forward. There. And then there's going to be basically this height. So normally what I do is I'll go to here, Y, and copy this, go to 9, and copy it. Then I know that's the height. Then I just move it forward slightly, and then move this forward. The Y can be zeroed because it's on the floor. And then you make the foot in the contact position. Like this. So that's flowing pretty well. So we'll select everything, key everything, and then put it on constant interpolation. All I'm doing is I'm selecting everything, then I'm going into my graph editor, selecting all the keys and going to constant here. Or you can go to tangents, stepped. Same thing. That's all I'm doing when I'm going onto that screen. I'm just making sure step there. And then the next one, oh, so yeah, the back one, let's also do the back one. The back, so this is going to start rolling as well as this one comes in. Just, yeah, that makes sense. And then what you want to do, again, go to the second pose here. The Y is 1.8, so we go to here. Just paste it in there. Oops. Sorry, select the hips. Paste it in there. Sorry, let me just do that again. Y. That's what we want. 1.8. And then there we want to put it in. There. Move it forward. So we know that it's going to take the weight. Take the weight. And then the back leg is just about rolling up. So we'll roll this up. Come it up a little bit. Now we can make these clunky, you know, like you could see there's clunky. We'll go to town later with them. So it's contact, then again, passing position, bit high, leg comes through, just a little bit like that. We could sort out the exact height after, but we're just getting these poses in, and then passing position, which is going to be the highest, so a bit higher, and then this foot comes forward and it's just rotated there. So you're getting that. Again, select everything, make sure we key it. Now the end one, what we're going to do here is there's different ways of doing this, but this is what works for me. I get all the geometry, go to the start frame, duplicate. You see it's duplicated. Then I press Shift P to bring it out of the group, and then group. Now you got a separate pose, the exact pose. So what I do here is I go to the end. So here, 15. All right, the next two frames, I know, okay, I know this foot is here. So I know that if I put this geometry here, then I can match it now. It's going to be fairly exact, but we can always finesse it after. So let's go back. Okay, I'll select all of the controls here. Make sure it's all keyed. Now I'll middle click, drag it to 17, let go, and press S. Now it's going to copy that same frame, see? Now all you got to do is select the feet and the top here, the hips, and move it forward. That's all you got to do. And then I might just go into wireframe is the best, because then you can get exact match. You know it's exact like that when there's no doubling. If it's not exact, it won't be completely over. It'll be like this, like this, like that. See? Well, you want it exact, so it's right on top. Okay, now that you've got that, you can go back. You can delete the group and select everything and just step. And then now have a look at that blocking. Okay, so you've got a little cycle there now, with all the foot positions in the right place. There you go. And then what we can do is we can just do 17 here, 17 at the bottom here. Right, okay, so you've got a block in there of the hips, how it's moving. And you can even look, you see the hips there? It's going constantly forward, forward, forward. And then we'll go and clean this up and get it all working properly. But what we'll do now is we'll go into front view and we'll be like, all right, as he steps and then leans, what's happening here? The weight is shifting. So we just want to get those X's in. So this way, the weight's shifting. It's going to be a bit clunky. And then this way, the weight's shifting, because we know it's the step, right? So if we look at this now, it's going to be a bit all over the place, but that's how it is. But that's how it looks, you see? Just block, do it like this. So we've got that working. And then the other thing we want to start doing is if we go into the hip controller here, so whenever the foot is raised, we know that the hip will be high, because when you're raising that foot, it goes high, right? Same with this way, high. So we're just going to get these rotations in, so we got an idea, and then we can clean that up later too. All right, guys, so that's basically the block. We could do the arms and stuff later, but that is the blocking you're getting in. Actually, I'll select the arms, come here in the layers, and you can go to arms. See, I'm selecting the arms here. It's really nicely done, everything. So it knows that, you know, ProRigs is really good. It knows animators want to hide the arms sometimes because we're working on one thing. But there you go. See, like, we can start working on just the torso and everything. Make sure that's working properly. The other thing we can do is, when it steps here, we know that there's going to be that C shape. Right? There. And then when we come here, we know that this way, there's a C shape like this, reversal. That happens. The hips, we can leave the hips for now, but let's see. Okay, that one. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we've got that happening. So that's the mechanics. Pretty much how we want it. That's fine. And then we can start cleaning up. So that's the blocking done. We'll move on to polishing, getting into the spline, and starting to really clean things up a bit. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys, so we're going to start splining now. So I'll just select the controller, the cog. See, the first thing we're going to do, okay, so if we look here, we want to get the Y transition going constant, going forward. So normally what I do, I delete everything in the middle, and then I do linear. So if we look now, it's constantly going forward. So what we'll do, we'll just select everything, and let's just spline everything. It's going to be all over the place, but don't worry, man. We'll figure it out. So if we look now, spline everything. Okay, and this as well. Everything is splined. Okay. Let's start flattening some of this stuff. Okay, let's come back here. There's some stuff which is still alright. Let's just do spline. Let's select everything again. Let's select the top bit, all of this. Spline. Okay. Ah, that's better. So you see how that's more constant. So if we look at the front, we need to sort all this out. That's fine. Let's check this control. Okay, we can sort that out. All right, first thing we're going to do, if we're going it, we made it constant going forward. Now let's check this out. You see this? You got all these keys there that you don't need. So let's go here. Y is fine, we need that. Okay, then here we can just delete all of these. And remember, when we're doing a cycle, remember we have to match tangents. So if we match like this, so the cycle, we'll do these as we go. Always matching tangents. You press this for cycle, or you can go here, curves, cycle, post-finity cycle, either one. You don't want to do post-finity, you want to do normal cycle on the spot. So it's these ones. Okay, and then let's look at the up and down. So we cycle this, and we just want to match these ends. So they're nice, right? So we want the high values to be the same. So we can flatten this out now. I flatten it by pressing Alt-4. That's my shortcut. You can use this flat, this one. But I have shortcuts. I'll leave a script for you guys so you can check that out. Okay, so that's down and then down. So this is going to be the same, which I think it is. Yeah, that's the same. This is the up, which is cool. This will be the same as this one. Or not. Yeah, 6.4, 6.4. Yeah, that's the one. So we've got equal distribution there, right? This and these are the same. Okay, so now the up and downs are very, very much the same. Now, X is fine too. That's shifting weight. Just flatten these out. We could just add. So if we take this without the minus, put it at the top, I think it's the same. Yeah, that's the same. So that's cool. We've got that working. And now what we want to do is we can get, we'll get this bit here, this hips here. So coming back here, you can see it's all clunky, up, up, up. And that, if we go to, normally I go here channel and I know, okay, this is, I'm going to be working in this, sorry, this controller. Yeah, it's going to be that. Same thing here, just like the X, you want to delete, basically delete all of these. Delete this one, delete this. So you want to have this cycle. Also, if you come here, you might want to flatten this, use this value, 7, and add it here. But remember, leave the minus there, so it's rotating equally. Then we can always adjust if it's too much or too little. That seems fine to me. And then you have these ones, which is the same thing you're doing. You're deleting. You're just keeping the positions here and here that was switching. That's all you're doing. And then you just add a cycle there. Cycle here. 6.9. We'll just change this to 6.9 so it's both equal. There. So if we look now, it's just the top one now. You see it's a bit rocking. It's rocking because of all these curves there. So we just want to delete these, cycle. Again, flatten, or flatten here, flatten. Check out the value, 5.3. Copy that over. So it's both happening equally. So if we look now, see there's that slight little bend you got. And it's starting to walk now more fluently, right? So you've got that happening. And now what we'll do is we'll work on the feet. So we've got the body working well. Yeah, we can always change that a bit more if we wanted to. But that's how we can exaggerate a bit more. Now if we select the feet, so if we go for this foot, we can look here straight away. Foot's going up here, which is fine. We can flatten this. So it's coming up. But look, when we get to the top here, this bit here, you see this overshoot? So if we come here, that represents this bit. You see how it's going forward and back, forward and then back? So all you're doing is flattening that. So now it's solid. The only thing is an up and down. So if we go back to an up and down, same thing there. You just want to flatten it. So it's solid now, see? And then you want to look at the other axis just in case. They seem fine. Rotations are fine. And then look at the foot roll. That seems fine. So that is a solid plant. Solid there, see? But you see there's a little bit of movement at the back there. That's to do with this. So what we want to do, we want to get that end frame, copy it, because the end frames and the start frames are the same. And we want to put in all these keyframes that are flat. because that's where we want the foot. So if we just flatten this, see, that will stay there, it will stay locked. And the same thing, foot roll is fine, this seems fine. We'll just cycle that and just try and match. You can even get rid of that one and just match this, try and match it there. And now what we can do is go to the other one and do the same thing. So if we look at the foot here, at the start, you can see that it's sliding there. And that's because of this, it's raised a bit. So we just flatten this. So all of this is flat now. Values are the same. And there must be one there, massive overshoot there. See, that's what's, now if you look there, it's all running smoothly. And now if we go to the foot control, you see this? You see that slight movement there? It's because of these overshoots. That's what happens when you spline, just little overshoots. That's all it is. We're just checking the mic was on there. There. So now you've got solid feet and a solid mechanics working. Even here, if we come here, you could even go full like this to get that little flop, flop, flop. Right, you go a bit more extreme. You can play around, but or you can just leave it. Leave it kind of straight like that. And if you look at the foot here, that's fine. That's all you're doing. Just there you go. You've got a solid. So that's a solid. Walk there basis. Now what you can do here is you can start to play around and maybe select all these keys. Press R for scaling. Go to the point here. You want to go to the middle. You don't want to go up here and scale, because look, it scales from that point. If you scale in the middle here, it will scale the whole. See? Then you can start playing around. And then we could slowly start offsetting that. So what I'll do with the bottom one, I'll scale that a bit, but I won't scale it as much as the top one. So I'll just scale it a little bit, whereas the top one was scaled a bit more. So there, so you're getting that bit of a weight shift happening as well. And then we'll start working on the arms and legs. So now you've got that working and you're happy with it. Now, then what we'll do with the next one, we'll start working on the arms, and then we'll break it down, working on the head. Arms and heads we'll do next, because you've got a nice mechanic. You know the hips are working well, and then we'll start adding in the polishing. We'll add the face and all that kind of stuff. Okay, guys. So that's splining just quickly. So you're getting that walk all solid and all the arcs moving all smoothly. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so let's unhide the arms. So let's get this. Let's check this out. So that's the walk. Okay, and the front. Okay, so what we can do now is maybe as the character comes up, is also rotating in Y here. That's it. So in Y here, we're going to be rotating with the leading leg. So it's going to be like that. Right, we'll use the whole body. Or what we can do, so we use, let's use, yeah, we'll use that. So we use the hips, rotate, in, let's say 10, and then let's go to the end and press 10 in Y here as well, because the front start and end pose are the same, right? And the middle one will be -10 because it's going in the opposing way. Okay, and then again we'll go into our, we could do this later, but I thought let's get it done now. We'll delete all these redundant in between keys there, flatten that, cycle. So that's just the process. So then it looks a bit more cartoony. Okay, now what you want to do is upper, because it's opposing, we want to have this go the other way, right? So let's do minus 15. Come back here, -15, and the middle we'll do 15, and then go back into here. You can see it's all messed up. Delete those, cycle, flatten, so it's all a nice cycle. When I do flatten, I've got a short key called Alt F as my short key. So I'll show you what I mean. If you go to your hotkeys here, there's a video on this on my other courses which shows you. So if I go to custom here, I've made custom keys. So splining is OS. I'll do a video on this, separate one. But there you see there's an opposing kind of a walk, and even the twist is happening nicely now, isn't it? There's a little twist going on. So we've got that happening. So we'll leave that for now. It's a nice little thing working there. And then what we'll do, we'll get the arms. And the first thing we'll do is, let's go to the channel box here. Let's bring the arms down. So let's bring them down enough so they don't intersect, right? So let's bring them, where's the furthest we can go? Around there, which is what? -70, I would say. Yeah, -70. Not getting in the way of anything. You know what? Let's do -68. So it's out a bit. And then on the same on the other side, we'll do -68. So we've got something like that. Oh, the reason why it's come up is because all these keys are on it. So we can just go in here, highlight, delete the keys, and copy to the end. So we've got it moving like this. Okay. Now, we want to do them opposing. So what we'll do, let's exaggerate. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's exaggerate. So this leg is forward, which means we'll have this back like that. And this leg, we'll have it. Let's check out the rotation here. 32, right? So let's round it. 30. And this is going to be -30. Yeah, going forward. Okay, again, copy the first to the last, so it's all the same. And then we want to go to the middle here, passing position, and we want to do this 30. And we want to do this -30, because it's opposing ways, right? -30. And then we'll just see how that plays. Is it cutting through there? Yeah, it is cutting through there, isn't it? There. So now that we know that's happening, what I do is, wherever it's happening there, I'll just come in here. I'll just flatten this and cycle. I know that this is causing it. So what I need to do is just move it up. Select them both. Press Shift, middle mouse button up. And just get it out. So at least you know. And then the same on the other side. So we get is it cutting through there? There. So if we just flatten this out and cycle. You see how I'm doing this as I'm going as well. Okay, so we want to do rotate. I don't want it to be intersecting anyway. I want that negative space, right? Okay, so we've got that going, which is fine, you know, it's cool. Now what we'll do, we'll add, so what we'll do, we'll come here, number 3, we'll add, again we'll delete all of these in between keys because we don't need them. So as it's coming back, we know the arm will be dragging, so we'll just make the arm go back. Right, like this. Now that's exaggerated, but that's cool. Not to worry, we don't mind a bit of exaggeration. I'll put in the middle there. Yeah, let's move the key back. And then what we can do is cycle that, and if we select everything, move it 1 frame, it'll just create a bit more looseness. Can you see it there? Then we can start moving it down. Move it down more if you want, if you think it's too much. Yeah, that's fine. And then we can do the same on the other side. Select all the in-between keys. Come to 9. And we can come here and just move it back. Flatten that, cycle, let's have a look. Actually, you know what? This one will be forward and this will be back. It's the other way, right? But now what we'll do, we'll just tone this down as well. So we'll come here, bring it down. Let's bring it down a little bit like this and let's have a look. So this, if we look at the start here, that's fine. That's fine too. That going back more? I think it is. I think it is. Let's check this out. Let's make it go back a little bit more. Yeah. So there. Let's have it a bit funny. We don't mind a bit of fun. Now the other thing you can start doing is, if you really want to start dragging the fingers more, so what's this? Okay, this control is for spinning, so we're not going to really use that. What we can do is, you see these, so we've got these controls here. These are all for the fingers. So you got this one. So let's select that, and that, and that, and that, and that. So we've got all of these selected. Now, again, delete everything in here. Just checking if my mic was working there. Seems to be alright. So what we can do, we know here, we can just rotate. Okay, that's not going to work. So what we need to do, let's select these first. This one, and this one. What's this one? Okay, it goes all the way back. Alright, so there's 4 controls there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's concentrate on these first. We can do the other one after. So if we delete, these, and sorry, excuse me. So we know when it comes back here, we know we want to add a bit more drag to the fingers. That's cool for me. And if we come here, we know it's going to go forward a bit. So we just copy that. Now if we look now, there's a little bit of that drag, right? Now, if we go into the graph editor, we'll just flatten this all out. Now what we want to do is we want to offset. So we'll leave the first one how it is. The second one, all right, let me undo it. So I've selected everything again. Let me cycle everything. You have to cycle this for it to work. Let's go to the third one and go move it one. All right, so we've offset that by 1. We've offset this by 2. Now we're going to offset the last one, 2, 3, by 3. So you see it's going to create that kind of drag. We'll do the same with this top one here. So we're going to move that by 1. Move the second one by 2, 1, 2. I'm pressing shift and middle button. So I'm selecting everything, then shift and then middle mouse button, and then moving it across. 1, 2, 3 is the last one. So it's going to create this kind of wave. See that? So you're getting that kind of drag. And then what we'll do, that middle one, the one at the back. Hold on, someone's it. Okay, doorbell went there. Anyway, so that last one we select. If we move it here, we'll do the same thing. We'll just rotate it back like that. And then at the front, we rotate it forward. And then middle click, save it to the end. So all you do, and then now what you're doing, same thing. You're coming in, same thing. Leave the last one how it is. Again here, flatten everything. I'll flatten it here and cycle. And then move this by 1. Flatten everything and cycle. And then you can select all of it, move it by 2. And then that one, that one here. 1, 2, 3, flatten, cycle, and then that will create that drag. And if you really want to make it, because they're all moving at the same time, right? And if you really want to offset it a bit more, all you do, so all the fingers move at different times, is select one of these controls, so this middle finger here. So you've got all of those controls. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You know you've got all 4 selected because here it's got the names. Literally all you're doing is selecting everything and moving that maybe 1, 2 frames. And then get the other control here and move that 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. So now they're all kind of, if you move it back 1, they're all kind of, you can play around, move it forward or back 1, but you can see there's a bit of a drag happening there. Yeah? So there's a bit of drag. Now would you want that on a robot? Probably not, but you know what, it's just that last minute drag, right? And then if you want to really, when we polish, we can translate them so it's a little stretch. But we can do that when we get there. But maybe these parts are a bit floppy, you know? We could have a floppy robot. And then basically that's the same you want to do on the other side. So I'll just quickly do it here. So you've seen the process, and I'll just quickly select all of these. So I've selected all of these, deleted the inside. Here's cool because we know this is going back, so we know we can just move these back and then basically copy it and then coming forward, copy it like this. So we just got like a wave, see? Now all you want to do, same thing we did on the other one. In matter of fact, I'll do these both together. We'll get that and we'll get that. Flatten, cycle, move it by 1. Move it by 1 there. Okay, the next one, move it by 2. 1, 2. We're going to flatten, cycle. The next one, move it by 3. 1, 2, 3. Flatten, cycle. So we've got that, happening there, right? And then obviously the other one, which is difficult to find. Let's select these, come back out this way. Same thing, delete everything in the middle. All right, just checking if the mic's on. Be awful shame, huh? Rotate, again, rotate it back, copy it, go into the middle, rotate it forward, come back. Now that I've got them all selected, I might as well cycle them all as well, you know. And then same thing here, all you're doing is selecting the one below there, move it one, move this one, 1, 2, this one, 1, 2, 3. Now, they're all going to be moving the same, as you can see, and then we'll do the same thing where we'll get all of these controls and move it by 1, and then we'll get these controls, move this by 2, 1, 2, and then at least they're all different now. So if we look now, the timing is slightly different, right? And you've got that happening. So now we've got the arm working how we want it, or floppity flop, which is cool. Now what we can do is start working on the head. So if we get the controls back, you see you have these controls here that move. That basically you can rotate. Can you rotate? Yeah, you can rotate. So we'll select all of these. Delete. Select the head, delete. Matter of fact, we could select all of this area here because we all got keys on it. Remember, we set the keys at the start. And then here, basically what we can do is we can be like, all right, the head is up here. And then when it lands, 2 frames after it lands, it comes down. And then it goes up. And then lands. So we can do a little something like this. Where you're creating, you could play around, right? You could play around. Or you could have we could also try one where maybe it might be better if there's in the middle there, right? Like this. That'll work actually. Let's do it like that. Let's move this here. Sorry. Let's keep it like it was originally. So we've got that kind of up and down going on, right? And then we could do the same thing like we did with the hands. So let's have a little experiment. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is how it looks. Let's bring it down a bit. Let's bring this up a bit. Let's keep it a bit subtle. So it's slightly moving. Now what you can do here, what we can do is we can select all of these keys. Make sure your marker's on 0. Select all the keys, copy, then go and select the next 3. Delete the end frame, come back here, select all the X rotations, and you can go to edit, paste, and then just cycle that. See, now you've got happening on all. But what you want to do is, I think each one you do, you just want to reduce a little bit. Next one, you might want to reduce that a bit more. And then the last one, you might want to reduce it all the way. Yeah, so each one is kind of less and less. See, you can see like a little chain effect. And the other thing you want to do is, if we go back here, you might want to just offset that by 1. Then offset this by 2. 1, 2. Make sure it's cycling. And then the last one, 1, 2, 3. So you'll get that looseness, yeah? So there's a little bit of a looseness there. And then if it's too much, doing, doing, doing. So it's a bit of a doing, doing, doing. It's going, what's up, man? What's happening? So whatever it is, you know, just have fun doing it. And you might just want to take them all. So what you can do is just select them all and then come back here and then just go like halfway and just scale it halfway, just scale it down just to make it a bit more subtle. And then if you're not happy with that, always try and scale it back up, scale it a little bit more down. That's all right, isn't it? Yeah, you could play around with that. And then we might be like, all right, you know what? Let's play around with, let's also get this bit going as well. We could do that in the polishing. Okay, that's fine. So you've got a nice, so if you look here now, you've kind of got a nice bobble going on. And you know what? We'll also need to, can't forget about the head, man. So that's keyed down. So if we go down, this start is up. So let's copy that to the end. Down, up, down, and then up. So that adds a little bit of bounce to him, right? So if we go back to our graph editor, we can just play around with this again, cycle this. So, you know, you can add more or less. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So go back. Actually, let's go. And you could choose, you could leave it how it is, like that. That seems a bit cool. So what we'll do, we can just tone this down. Yes, that feels like a bobblehead, doesn't it? Bobblehead. A little bit of a bobblehead. Okay. Now we can go to the next video and then we'll do the polishing. We'll polish the antennae, do a bit of the eyes, the jaw, just bring it out a bit and just bring it up a bit, yeah? And then also work a bit more on the feet, have it stomp down a bit more with the spacing and timing. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, guys, we're going to be doing the polishing now. So let's check out. Let's get this one out of the way. Yeah? Let's do this. All right, so let's animate this control. Let's go in, out, in, out, in, out. Yeah, so let's try and keep this one simple. We'll get this control, this control here. All right, you know what? We'll use this control, this. Wait, this one and this one. You know what? Let's try and rotate this like this. So we rotate that back. This one always goes back. And this bent one, okay, it's going to be a bit different. And then that goes back. That one. And then that one. All right, let's see. what we'll do, let's see if this works. Have it just slightly forward more. All right. So what we'll do, we'll select all of these controls. Make sure it's all flat. Remember, flat, cycle. And then we'll start offsetting, right? So let's go to this one and say, let's do it, offset it by 1. Let's offset this by 1, 2. Offset that by 1, 2, 3. You can already see it's delaying there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how this. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's fine. What we can do, we can leave that for now. It's bouncing. Yeah, it's going with the momentum, which is cool. Okay. Now what we can do, we come back here, put the controls back on. Let's check out the eyes. What's this second control? Yeah, we want the second one. The second one here, right? Let's do one at a time. So let's go to the eyelids. Okay, upper and lower. Oh, that's it. There are the controls. Select this one too. So let's have it like that, and also, what should we give it? Should we give it a sad or angry? What's the angry one like? Oh, let's see this. Okay, let's delete the end keys here so it doesn't go back to neutral. Let's see how this looks. Angry, he's got an attitude there, he's coming for someone. See how the eyes can just completely change the attitude of the character. So what we can do is, eyes are so important. My mentor used to always say the eyes, they never lie. The eyes. Or I got another idea. Why don't we do this? Why don't we open it a bit? And this is where the fun comes in. After you've done all the mechanics and everything, now you can, well, now you can keep it neutral. Even like side is cool. And the lower. Oh, it could be like that, right? So now what we can do is, it could be like that. So let's check this one out. All right, and then now what we can do is, as he comes down, you know, the jaw could slightly come up, and then down, and then up. Yeah, so you're getting that personality coming through now. It's like he's like, I don't know, tired and sleepy, or you can even offset the jaw a couple of frames and look, it's like he's breathing. So if we do it one frame, have a look. And then 1, 2, 4 frames. Sorry, what I'm doing here is just moving the keys back to see how that looks. So that's on 0. Wait, that's on 0. So it's no offset. Couple of frames. It just makes him look like he's breathing. 3 frames. Even 3 frames is cool. Or 2 frames, that's cool. And then you can just play around. You can be like, all right, I can lift that's a bit too much, but you know, always better to push. There, so you got a little subtle movement there, which is nice. We can just bring this down. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Just a little bit down. So that works nicely. And then the last thing we can do is, if we go back to the feet, so go back to the feet here. You go to the start, select the foot. So we could select this foot. And you know, we could be like, okay, let's break these joints and maybe have it come down a bit more abrupt. So if you look now, it's a bit more solid the way it comes down. And maybe, and then maybe here. That's fine, we don't have to worry about that, we can cycle that, that's fine. And this one too, you know, we can come back, foot roll, and like here where it lands, we can break. So you can, what you can do is, at the moment the handles are like this. If you want to break it, you just go to here, break, but then you want to go to keys, non-weight, sorry, key, I always get this one wrong, weighted. Weighted tangents lets you control. Some people like it, some people don't. I live swear by it. And then I've got shortcuts for this on my keypad, so you can see. But let me just try and play around and see. You see, it gives more of an impact there. See, there's less spacing, so it's more of an impact. And then you can just come in and be like, all right, let me clean little bits like this up. So, you know, this is all lining up here. You know, you can come here, maybe clean it up if you want. And then that's fine, they look cool. Here, oops, and then this one is the same. So if we go to this one, we could be like just lining it up. This is just when you're just finessing it. So what is that? 9.61. Go to the end and just type it in there. 9.61. So, and then you can go through each frame and be like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe I want it to be a bit more like that. Oh, sorry, like that. But that's fine. That was an in between. Then you're just adding little bits like that. And the other thing you can do is once you have it, let me just save this quickly as polishing. Polishing 001. Now you've got it all working. You might, oh, this is cool. So what we can do, we can make it into a sad face. And as we come down, bring it down a bit. So it's a sad face. Wow, that's cool. There's all these little, his rig is amazing. You can scale the eyes here as well. Look, that's cool. We can add a bit of scale as well when he lands, just to give it that little bit of polish. But again, what we can do here is, so you've got this root control, and as you can see the root control here, it's going straight. So if we do this, it's going straight. So what we do, we can copy this. This is what we do in games. So we copy this. Some people animate on the spot, some people don't, but this is how I do it. And then if you want it on the spot, you just select the root controller, the main one, go to the, delete all the keys, make sure there's keys at the start, and literally just paste. So you're pasting it in, but the value at the end here, you just put in a minus here. And then make sure that's supposed to fit it, just in case you want to make it move forever and ever. Now, if you notice when he walks, it's on the spot. So that's how you get it on the spot, bake it, export it, and then you can put it in game. Now, let's coming back here. We were talking about the eyes. So let's look at this. So you've got scale here. So what we can do, we can be like, all right, when it lands, so when he steps, I can key, and then maybe slightly big, and then back to 0. Or whatever that start was. All right, that one, copy that over. And then same thing we can do, copy all these keys, and when he steps again here, just paste it. And if you look now, there's a little bit of a squash there, right? Now what we can do, that's a bit too much, but what we can do, we can select the controls, and here's the scales, and then we just want a very, very subtle one. It's almost like it's not there, but you know, you can feel it. So if we look now, it's very subtle, isn't it? So we can even move it down a bit more. So it just gives it that much more life. And yeah, there you have it. There you have it. So you've got a little walk cycle there, cartoony. You can do all kinds of things. You can speed it up if you want. You can come here and, I don't know, go to 50, select all the keys, move it, and then do it. You can do a really slow one. And then you can check out. So if I select everything and just snap, and then here you can see where it ends. So it ends here. So if you just type in 30, it should cycle from there then. So if we come now, there might be a little few glitches there, but you can sort that out. That's not a problem. But then you got like, that's really sad, right? Yeah, you can go in. So if you go, what I normally do is, one of the ways I would do it would be, if I select all the geo, go to the start, duplicate that, Control P brings everything out, then group that. So when you duplicate, it creates another one inside that group. You press Control P, it comes out, then you group it. But I can get rid of that because I already got one there. So in order for you to just match and see which one, just keep playing it until it matches. So let's see. So if we go to, so let's go to, let's put this in a layer and just hide it. Select everything. And we can be like, okay, everything's cycling, which is good. Okay, this is cycling forward. We can cycle this. We'll cycle the feet. So make sure everything's on cycle, otherwise. Okay, we want the feet to be forward. So we want it to be like this cycle. That's the one we want. Okay. And then unhide. And I like to go in the side view. And I used to like to go on wireframe and see until it matches completely. So let's go to 100. See that 59. So we go to 59. That frame looks like everything is matched. Oh, it's not properly matching. All right, let's check out. Okay, let's cycle all of this. That seems to be all right. Oh, it's this. Okay, let's have a look. Ah, see, that's what it is. Look. Rotate. See, you see little glitches like this. And then what we can do, what's this, 11? Let's put 11 here. Oh, 11. 11 here. Okay, that's there you go. So that's, so basically you can just I mean, this is like really slow, but you know, you can play around with the timing. You can bring it back, whatever you. But yeah, that's basically how you do a walk, and then just by changing the face, the eyes. I'll talk more about this in the conclusion. But when you just changing the neck shape, the back shape, you know, this is a sad character. So all you can do, if you've got an existing walk here, and if you want to change it, go into the x-axis and just start, I don't know, can you rotate it down? Yeah, look, you can start rotating it like this. You know, you're already changing the attitude like that. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? And then you can even have the arms less rolling, have them just forward like this. But yeah, that's how you do a simple walk cycle with a cartoony character. So I'll do some more animations with this. I'm really enjoying these ProRigs. Definitely worth subscribing to and getting the rigs. They're brilliant. You know, the guy who created this rig, I've met him. He was an animator. I met him at my graduation at Animation Mentor, and he broke off. He's doing his own thing now, and he's made ProRigs. This is brilliant. You know, he's a great animator. I remember one of his lectures at Animation Mentor. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and we'll conclude on this class. So let's go. Congratulations, my friends, you have just finished how to animate a cartoony walk, and now you can go ahead and apply that to other models, play around with the poses, timing, what have you. The basic fundamentals are there, what you need to do to get a decent walk, and then you can go on from there. So what did we learn? We learned how to do the contact pose, the down pose, the passing pose, and the highest pose, and then back to contact. And then we created that same cycle the other way, the other leg, and that gave us the continuing cycle. We also learned how to do a walk going forward constantly, and also how to make it go on the spot, which is very useful when you're doing video games, you know. So I hope you post your projects. I'll be in the discussions. Just post your projects on Skillshare, and let's all give each other feedback and all try to improve together as a community. All right, guys, there will be more classes coming. Check out my fundamentals, my principles of animations, a whole lot of courses I got on Skillshare, but there will be more coming in the Cartoony series. Now that's my focus, and I will also be looking at lip syncing as well. We're going to be doing a lot more these kind of classes this year. I also got a YouTube channel where I share a lot more tutorials, and I also share my fitness journey, and also reviewing animations on TV shows and video games, and also book reviews, as well as miniature painting, which is part of my hobby as well. In the meantime, happy animating, and most importantly, have fun animating. Stay healthy. Love you. See you later.